Hi, welcome, welcome to Mat140. We're going to talk about 14.2, measures of central tendency and the five-number summary. So this is kind of leading up to statistics. We want to talk just briefly, I'm going to get my book over here, briefly about measures of central tendency, which are very simple, and then the five-number summary, which isn't too hard either. So first of all, we're going to talk about the three measures of central tendency. The measures of central tendency are the mean, which is the average of the numbers. Average of the numbers means that we add up the numbers and then we divide by how many numbers there were. And then we're going to talk about the mode, the median. Talk about that next, which is the number in the middle number. And then we're going to talk about the mode, and the mode is the number that happens the most. So you got the mean, the median, and the mode. And these are the same three things we're going to talk about. So let's talk about first about the mean. And when we have a population of numbers, there's two ways we can designate the mean in statistics. One is we use a symbol like this, it's called mu. And mu means that we have a total population, which doesn't happen very often. It would be maybe we're talking about a small group of people, 8 people or something, then that would be the total population. But most of the time, we're talking about a sample population. And when we want the mean of a sample population, we call it X bar. X bar. And that's a sample population. When we're showing that we want to add a whole bunch of numbers together, we use a symbol called sigma. Sigma means the sum. It's a Greek letter. Let me write down sigma. It's a capital letter. This is capital sigma. And it means the sum of a bunch of numbers. Sum of group of numbers. So just a little think about the notation, especially on the mean. This refers mostly to the mean. Okay. Mu, the total population. X bar, a sample population. And sigma means we're going to add up the sum of these numbers. So what I did is I took later on in this section on 338, 738, they have a list of all the presidents, starting with Teddy Roosevelt at age, these are their ages of these presidents. He was the youngest, 42, up to Obama, which is 47. So we would want to find actually on this, we want to find the mean, the median, and the mode. So what I did is I took the liberty to take these numbers and put them from the smallest to the biggest. Sometimes we want to arrange our data this way. And when I counted them up, there were 19 presidents that they had here. Okay. And I actually took the sum of them. I added them all up. Came out to 1,028. So anyhow, we want to find the mean. Would this be a total population or a sample population? Well, I would call it a sample population because we don't have all the presidents here. We're starting with Teddy Roosevelt. We don't have Taft and all those other guys and George Washington and, John Adams and so on. So we don't have all the presidents. So it's a sample of the latest presidents, maybe from the 19th century on. So we're going to call this X bar. And so we're going to try to find the mean first. Let's put the mean over here. I should have put it first. So X bar means we're trying to find the mean. So what the easiest way is to add up all these numbers, and I took the liberty to do that 1,028, and I hope I'm right. I might have made a mistake. I did it in a hurry. And then we're going to divide it by how many presidents there were. That's called the frequency of the presidents. This is called the frequency. So the mean is equal to the total number of their ages divided by the number of presidents, 19. And that should give us the mean of this number. let's clear this out. 1028 divided by 19. So if I add it correctly, the mean is 54. That would be the average age. I rounded off to 54. This was the average age of the president. You can see there's some presidents that are more, there's some presidents that are less than 55, 54, but that would represent the average age. So that's what we call the mean. The total of all these ages added together, the sum of all the ages, we could write it like this. It's the sum of all their ages divided by the frequency of their ages. The frequency is 19. The sum, sigma, is 1,028. Okay, so that is what the mean is. It's very simple. If you had your quizzes, you add up all your quizzes, your scores, and then you divide them by how many scores. If you had 5 scores, let's try another one. Say you had 5 scores, 20, a very low score, and then you had a couple of 40s and a 36, and let's give you one more score, 38. We would add all these scores together on our calculator, 20 plus 40 plus 40 plus 36 plus 38. And so that would be the sum of all the scores, which is 174. Then we're going to divide it by the frequency, which means how many scores do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we divide that, we should come up with your average. And it comes up with a syntax error. Okay, so maybe I made a mistake here. I think this was supposed to be 45. I don't know what happened. Let's try it again. 20 plus 40 plus 40 plus 36 plus 38 equals 174 divided by 5. 34.8. Or we're rounded off to 35. You need a 36, so this would be a B plus. This 20 is hurting you. It's a very low score. If we threw out the lowest score and the highest score, you'd come up with an easy A. Okay. In this class, we're already throwing out your 4 lowest scores, no high scores, just your lowest scores to build up your average a little bit. Taking into consideration it's online and a couple other things. So that's how we calculate the mean. That would be your mean, 35. Okay, now another thing is the median. The median is the number in the middle. So we know there's 19 pieces of data. There's 19 presidents. So if we count out 20, if we count out 10 one way and 10 the other way, we should get the number in the middle. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's circle the 10th one. Right there is the 10th one. And let's go the other way, count the same way. Count from 69 on down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Circle the 10th one. So 54 is the number right in the middle, and that's called the median. And you notice the median and the mean actually came out to be the same. That's usually a good representation of data if they do come out the same. They don't always come out the same. So the median is the middle number. And we do it by counting. Now you're saying, well, what if we had 20 pieces of data? We threw in Trump into this category. And I don't know how old Trump was when he was elected. But if we put it in, then let's say when we counted up, we had 54 and 56. We had two numbers that we had circled. What we do in that case, if we just add those together, that'll be 110 and divided by 2, and that gives you the median, the number in the middle. If there's an even, that's why we want an odd number of data. But if there is an even number of data, we counted 10 one way and circled it, and 10 the other way, there was another number, like 54 and 55, that would be 109 divided by 2, we get 54.5. Okay, so that would be the median, I don't know. So that's how we would figure it out. If there's two numbers in the middle, add them together, divide by 2. Okay, so that's the mean, median, and the mode is the one that comes up the most. Now, sometimes there might be, maybe we're doing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the mode would be none. None of these numbers, they only occur one time. So we would say there's no mode, none, none. Okay. If a number, maybe we had 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then 2 and 3 could both be modes. You could have more than one mode. Okay, the mode is the number that happens the most. So now if we look through this data, we've got a bunch of 51s, 3 of them, got 54s, 2, 55, 2, 56, 2, 61, 2. But the one that's the most is 51 because it happens 3 times. So we wouldn't say the other ones are modes. Just the 51 is the mode because it happened the most. So here's the mean. The mean is the average. The mode, the most, and the median, the number in the middle. Real simple, huh? Sometimes we take our data, and I think I took the precedence again, and I wrote them down by the number of frequency. 42 happened once, and 43 happened twice, and 46. So if we add up all these frequencies, they should add up 1 and 1, and it's 1 and 3, and all these numbers, they should add up to 19. And if I multiply these together, like 1 times 42 is 42, and 1 times 43 is 43, 46, and 47, and then here, 3 times 51, 153, excuse me, 52, 108, 110, 112, 60, 122, I'm multiplying 61 times 2, 64, 69. If I add them up and I did it correctly, that's multiplying these two columns together, I should come up with 1028. And so to find the mean is the sum of these frequencies, this XF, divided by the sum of the frequencies, which is 19. And this will give us the mean, which we're going to call X bar equals 35. No, it wasn't 35, was it? What was the mean here? Here we go, 54. I was going to say 54 was our mean. Okay, so another way of doing this is called a frequency table. This is the number, the item, whatever it is, the age. That's your X factor. F is the frequency, the number of presidents that had that, 3 presidents, 2 presidents. When they were elected, 2 presidents of 55. And then we multiply those together, and that's what this is showing with a little time sign. That we're timesing these two columns together. And then this sum is saying, sigma is saying we added all those frequencies, 1028, and we added all these, 19, and then we divided to get our results. So that's what we call a frequency table. And it's to calculate the mean. And then we can do some other things from this, but that's basically in statistics, and we get a standard deviation and stuff from these tables. But right now we're just doing a kind of a frequency table. The last thing we're going to do with our presidents is we're going to do what we call a 5-number summary. So I'm going to write their ages down again real quick here: 42, 43, 46, 47, 51, 51, 51. And there's so many of them, I don't want to skip somebody. 54, 55, 54 twice, 55 twice, 3 times. Too many fives there, okay. There we go. Okay, so should use commas. Okay, I'm up to those guys. 56, 56, 60. I'm running out of room. I like to keep these on one line. 61, 61, 61, 64, 69. Whew, just made it. Okay. Somehow 66 got in there. You got too many. 61, 61, 64, 69. Got too many in here. 60, 61, 61, 64, 69. I don't know. Got a little messed up. Okay. So once this is all done, maybe I can do it better up here. Okay. I'm going to count all these presidents out, and we found out that this was the median, the one in the middle. I counted 10 this way, 10 back way, and we're going to put a little M under it for median. Then what I'm going to do is split these up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to count 5, 1, 2, starting with 42, the non-circled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Circle the 5th one, count this way, non-circled, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to call that Q2. No, Q1, excuse me, Q1. This is Q2. And now we're going to find Q3. We're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just to make sure, this is Q3. 50% of all your presidents fall in this range. 50% of their presidents were from age 51 to age 60 when elected. Okay, this number right here, this 42 is the minimum age, so we put min, and 69 is the maximum age. And that's what we call the 5-number summary. This in here is what we call a quartile. And this is kind of where the majority of the presidents lie, in here. And when you take statistics, you're getting a little bit more involved with this. It's called a box and whisker plot. The box contains 50% of the data, and the whiskers, we draw a little line out here, represent the other 50% of the data. I know it's kind of sloppy there, but that's what you want to do. Now, these have to be in order. They can't be just randomly like this. They have to be in order. So you have to order your data. So 5-number summary is, let's write that down, 42, 51, 54, 60, 68, 69. Okay, this is your 5-number summary. Then underneath we'll put what they are: men, first quartile, median. You could put second quartile or a median. Put Q2 or a median. Q3, because this is where the majority fall in. Sometimes we put a line through there. And then here's your whiskers. And this would be the max right there. So that's what we call the 5-number summary. Those are the most important numbers. The minimum number, the maximum number, and the numbers kind of in the middle, 54 being the most, the number that's right in the middle, the median. But this is represents from 51 to 60. That range represents 50% of the presidents, probably 10 of the presidents fell in this group or more, you know. So 5 out here, 5 out here, and 10 in here, roughly, 9 in here, and I guess it was 5 and 5. But that gives you the 5-number summary. Okay. And then for statistical purposes, they use this quite a bit. All right, so I think that help you, so now you got an idea what some of this notation looks like down here. You can take a look at this problem in the book. They just took these, multiplied them together, added them up, added the numbers up, and then basically just found the mean. That's all this is really saying, that this was the mean of that data, and we're putting it as the mean of the population. This was some temperatures and how much they occurred in maybe this 1 month or something. And so in the 30 days, some of these temperatures was such and such, and then they divided it, so they could say the mean temperature was about 55 degrees. Some days were colder, some days were warmer, but the mean average was about 55. And so we use this X bar to represent the mean. Okay, so I hope this helps, and good luck to you. And let me check out.